You've waited for too long for something, someone to pull you out of this mess. It's pathetic, really. You sit there drowning in your own self-pity, acting like the world owes you an apology. But let me tell you a hard truth. You're nobody's savior, nobody's hero. You're not even your own friend right now. You've been your worst enemy for years. A coward, hiding behind excuses, blaming the world for every cut and bruise. Look at your reflection. Look deep. You see those scars, the ones on your heart, your soul. You put some of those there yourself. You chose to stay silent when you should have screamed. You chose to surrender when you should have fought back. You let them break you time and time again because you wanted to believe in something better. You wanted to see good in the faces of those who only ever showed you their worst. You trusted. And now look at you. You've got this pain, this burning, festering wound inside you. It's raw, it's ugly, but it's yours. Own it. This pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to remind you of what's left. It's here to show you the truth. You have nothing left to lose because you've already lost everything that mattered. That's your freedom. That's your power. The world took everything from you, and now you're a free man. They can't take what's broken, and you're shattered beyond recognition. Embrace it. You're not a victim anymore. You're a survivor of your own damn war. You've been on the battlefield of your mind for so long that you've forgotten what peace feels like. But peace isn't your goal. Survival is. And that's the beauty of it. You don't need to be whole to keep moving. You just need to keep moving. Crawl if you have to. Drag yourself through the dirt if that's what it takes. But don't you dare give up on yourself now. Not when you've made it this far. They told you to give up. They whispered in your ear that you're not enough, that you never were. And maybe they're right. Maybe you're not what the world wanted you to be. Maybe you're worse. Maybe you're the monster they created, the shadow they couldn't kill. They made you cold. They made you ruthless. And now they fear the very thing they built. Good. Let them fear you. Let them see what happens when a man has nothing left but his own shattered pieces. You've got a choice here, and it's the only one that matters. Save yourself or bury yourself. No one's going to pull you from the abyss. No one's going to reach down and rescue you from this darkness. This is your fight, your war, and the warrior inside you, the one you silenced and buried under layers of doubt and fear, he's clawing his way out. Let him out. Set him free. Because that warrior, he's not afraid of the dark. He is the dark. You've lived in this pain for so long, it's become your home. You wear it like armor now. And that's your strength. Your greatest weapon isn't your kindness. It's your resilience. The fact that you're still standing here. That you haven't given up. That you're still breathing. Even when the weight of the world is crushing your chest. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you unbreakable. You think this world owes you something. It doesn't owe you a damn thing. It's not here to coddle you. It's here to crush you. And yet, here you are. Still breathing, still fighting. So why the hell are you crying for mercy? Mercy is for the weak, for those who can't handle the storm. But you were born in it, molded by it. Every tear, every scream, every sleepless night, it's forged you into something stronger than they could ever imagine. You feel that emptiness inside you. That's the space where you once held hope. But hope's a dangerous thing. It'll drag you down, make you soft, make you vulnerable. No, what you need isn't hope. What you need is resolve. Cold, unfeeling, relentless resolve. The kind that doesn't flinch in the face of pain. The kind that doesn't break when everything goes to hell. You're not a victim. You're not a martyr. You're a damn warrior. And warriors don't ask for salvation. They untake. They carve their path with blood and grit, with a heart hardened by every betrayal, every loss. You've got the scars to prove it. Wear them like a badge. Let them see the battles you've fought and the ones you've survived. Let them know you're not someone who can be broken so easily. So save yourself, because no one else will. You want a savior? Look in the mirror. That's your savior. The broken, bruised man staring back at you. That's the only one who can pull you out of this hell. And he's tired of waiting. He's tired of your excuses, your self-pity, your weakness. He's ready to rise, and you'd better rise with him. You've got the strength of 1,000 warriors inside you, but it's buried under layers of fear, regret, and shame. Dig it out. Tear it out if you have to, because you're running out of time. This world isn't going to wait for you to find your courage. It's going to keep hitting, keep pushing, keep trying to grind you down into nothing. So what are you going to do about it? Stand there and take it, or fight back with everything you've got left? You know the answer. You've always known. You're not the kind to lie down and die. You're the kind who rises from the ashes, bloodied and battered, but still standing. And when you stand, the world will feel it. It will tremble beneath your feet, because it will know that it couldn't break you. It couldn't kill the warrior inside you. So save yourself. Get up. Fight. Because if you don't, no one else will. And you're better than that. You're stronger than that. You're a warrior, and warriors don't die easy. They die fighting. You thought that was the end of it? That once the words ran dry, you'd find some relief? Nah, this isn't a game. This isn't a fairy tale where the hero finds his happy ending. This is your reality, your life. And the truth? It's uglier than any lie you've ever told yourself to sleep at night. I'm here to peel back those layers of comfort you've wrapped around your soul, one by one, until you're standing there, raw, exposed, bleeding. Because it's only when you face the wound that you can start to heal. Let's talk about the fall, shall we? The moment you lost yourself. You remember it, don't you? That moment when everything went black and you realized you had nothing left to hold on to. It felt like the ground gave way beneath your feet and you were in free fall, screaming into the void. You thought you'd hit the bottom eventually. But here's the joke. The bottom doesn't exist. It's a lie they tell you to keep you hoping, to keep you clinging to the edge, praying for a hand to pull you up. But no one came, did they? No one reached down to save you. They all stood at the edge watching you drown and turned their backs. That's the truth you need to swallow. People only care about you when you're useful to them, when you're shining bright enough to light their own darkness. But the moment your light fades, you're invisible. You're nothing. And you need to accept that, because once you do, you become something far more dangerous. You become unseen. You become the shadow, moving through this world without their expectations weighing you down. And in the shadow you find a kind of power they could never understand. The power of the forgotten. The power of someone who has nothing left to lose. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you looked at your hands and felt proud of them? When was the last time you saw the scars and didn't feel shame, but felt victory? Those aren't marks of failure. They're reminders of every battle you fought and survived. They're your medals, your trophies. You wear them every day, and you've forgotten what they mean. Every scar has a story. And yours are stories of battles fought in the silence of your own mind. They're the stories of nights spent wide awake, wrestling with demons no one else could see. They're the stories of fists clenched so hard you bled, just to keep from screaming. They're the proof that you were here. That you existed, that you fought, even when no one else knew the war you were waging. You think you're weak because you feel pain, because you cry when no one's looking. let me tell you something. Weak men don't cry. They bury it, hide it, pretend it doesn't exist until it rots them from the inside out. But you've got the guts to feel it, to let it burn through you like fire. You've got the guts to admit that you're hurting. That's not weakness, that's strength. That's the kind of strength that no one can teach you. It's the kind you earn, drop by drop, tear by tear, scream by scream. You're standing at a crossroad now. It's a lonely place, I know. You've been here before, haven't you? Looking down both paths, wondering which one leads out of the darkness. But here's the twist. There is no right path. There never was. Both roads lead through the fire. Both roads demand a sacrifice, and you're the sacrifice. You've got to be willing to burn away the parts of you that are too weak, too soft, too afraid. You've got to be willing to become something new. Something harder, something ruthless. They want you to believe that if you just keep your head down, keep quiet, and play nice, you'll find your peace. But peace isn't given to those who wait. It's more taken by those who are willing to wage war for it. Peace isn't the absence of struggle. It's the victory that comes after you've torn down every wall, shattered every chain, and stood over the ruins of your own doubts. You're at war with yourself. You know that, don't you? The old you, the weak, fearful one, is clinging to what's left of the life you once knew. It's scared, desperate, holding on to broken memories like shattered glass, bleeding itself dry. But the new you, the warrior, the survivor, it's rising. It's clawing its way up from the pit you buried it in. It's hungry, it's angry, it's ready to fight. And it's about damn time you let it loose. The world isn't going to change for you. It's not going to soften its blows or ease its grip. It's going to keep pushing, keep testing you, until you either break or become something it can't bend. So what's it going to be? You going to stay on your knees, begging for mercy that's never coming? Or are you going to stand up, spit blood in the face of every obstacle, and show this world what happens when it tries to crush someone who's already been through hell? You think the darkness is your enemy, but the darkness is your home now. It's where you learned to see when everyone else was blind. It's where you found yourself when the light abandoned you. It's not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Because in the dark, you're not blinded by hope or illusions. You see things as they are. You see yourself as you are. Broken, but not beaten. You're going to get up from this. You're going to rise, not because you found some miracle, but because you decided to. Because you're sick of being the victim of your own damn story. You're going to save yourself, not because anyone's watching, but because you're tired of living like this. Tired of feeling like a ghost, like a shadow of who you were meant to be. And when you do, when you finally rise, you're going to look back at this moment, this pain, and you're going to thank it. You're going to be grateful for every tear, every scream, every drop of blood. Because it's in this hell that you found the pieces of yourself you lost. It's in this darkness that you forged the warrior you were always meant to be. So save yourself. Rise up. Naren, before the world even knows what's coming for it. Because the man who walks out of this fire isn't the same one who walked in. He's something else. He's something stronger. He's the warrior you tried to bury. And he's pissed. Remember this, you're not here to survive. You're here to conquer, and conquer you will. You still listening? Good. Because I'm not done yet, and neither are you. The world's waiting for you to stay silent, to give up. It's what they've come to expect, isn't it? But they don't know what's burning inside you. They don't know what it took for you to get this far. And they sure as hell don't know the rage you've been feeding. That quiet, seething fury, born from betrayal, from abandonment, from every time you trusted and got spit on in return. That's your fuel now. Use it. Let it burn through every lie you've ever been told, every false promise, every empty apology. Let it ignite the parts of you that still remember who the hell you are. You've played the victim long enough. It's time to switch the roles. It's time to become the villain in their story, if that's what it takes. Because let's be honest, being the good guy never got you anywhere. You think the people who hurt you lose sleep at night? You think they're haunted by the ghosts of what they did? No. They moved on the moment they wiped their hands of you. You're nothing more than a fleeting memory to them, a faded scar they barely remember. But you've held on to it. You've let it define you, control you. You've let it dictate every step you take, every choice you make. It's time to break those chains. It's time to tear down the walls you built around your own heart. I get it. You put them up to protect yourself, to keep out the pain. But they've turned into your own prison, and the longer you stay there, the smaller your world becomes. Until there's nothing left but darkness, and the sound of your own breath echoing off the cold, hard walls. You're standing in the ruins of everything you once believed in. It's a lonely place, I know. But it's also a place of rebirth. This is where you decide what comes next. This is where you choose who you're going to be when you walk out of this darkness. You've been waiting for a sign, for some kind of divine intervention, for someone to tell you it's okay to let go of the past. But that sign isn't coming. That permission isn't yours to wait for. It's yours to take. You're not a child anymore. You don't need someone to hold your hand, to tell you it's going to be okay. Because maybe it won't be okay. Maybe the future holds even more pain, more betrayal, more nights spent alone with nothing but your own thoughts to keep you company. But here's the truth. You can handle it. You've already faced worse. You've already walked through the fire and come out the other side. They took everything from you, but they couldn't take your spirit. They couldn't break the part of you that refuses to die, that refuses to surrender. That's the part of you I'm talking to right now. That's the part of you that knows the difference between surviving and living. It's the part of you that's sick of merely existing, that's screaming for something more, something real. You've spent years trying to fit into a world that was never meant for you. You've bent over backwards, trying to make yourself smaller, quieter, more acceptable. But what did that get you? Just another scar, another reminder that you were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were meant to stand out, to tear through the fabric of their comfortable little lies with the sharp edge of your truth. Stop apologizing for being intense. Stop apologizing for caring too much, for feeling too deeply. This world wasn't built for people like you. People who burn too bright, who feel everything like a knife pressed against the skin. They want you numb. They want you dulled down, manageable, predictable. They can't handle your fire. They don't know what to do with a heart that beats like a war drum, with a soul that refuses to bow. But that's their problem, not yours. You've been carrying the weight of other people's expectations for too long. It's time to drop it. It's time to strip yourself down to the bone, to shed the layers of who they told you to be, and stand there in your raw, unfiltered truth. It's going to hurt like hell. It's going to feel like you're tearing yourself apart. But that's because you are. You're destroying the version of yourself that couldn't survive this world, and building something new in its place, something stronger. You're not going to save yourself by being soft, by being kind to the parts of you that are weak. You're going to save yourself by being ruthless, by cutting out the pieces that are holding you back. You're going to have to look at yourself with the cold, hard eyes of a surgeon slicing away the diseased parts, the parts infected by fear and self-doubt. You're going to have to be merciless, but when you're done, when you've bled out all the weakness, all the hesitation, what's left will be something unstoppable. What's left will be the version of you that no one can break, no matter how hard they try. You're not saving the person you were. You're creating the person you're meant to be. And let me tell you something. That person, he's a warrior. He's a savage force of nature. He's the storm they never saw coming. He's the nightmare that stalks the shadows, the one who rises when everyone else falls. He's the man who saves himself because he knows no one else will. He's the man who doesn't beg for mercy because he knows he's beyond saving. You're not going to walk out of this darkness with your head bowed. You're going to walk out with fire in your eyes and blood on your knuckles. You're going to walk out with the kind of confidence that only comes from knowing you faced the worst of it and didn't flinch. You're going to walk out as someone new, someone reborn in the ashes of everything that tried to destroy you. So stand up. Rise from the ashes. Let them see what happens when you push a man too far, when you strip him of everything and leave him with nothing but his own will. Let them see the monster they've created, the warrior they couldn't kill. This is your time now. This is your moment. Take it. Own it. Save yourself, because no one else will. And when you do, when you finally pull yourself out of this darkness, don't look back. Leave the old you buried in the shadows. Step into the light as the man you were always meant to be. The man who he saved himself. Because that's the real victory, isn't it? Not the battle you fought against the world, but the battle you fought against yourself. And you won. Now go. Be the storm. Be the darkness. Be the warrior who never needed saving.